Good morning. It's Wednesday, October 21st. And I read this morning that the Justice Department is going to sue Google. And the reason they're going to sue Google is because Google collects information about its users. It's called information gained by search. Now, there are many other things they would like to sue Google for, but this apparently seems to be the best chance of winning, I guess I would call it. So they want to sue Google for search and what it does with the data. And mainly what it does is they keep the data to themselves. They're not sharing this information with other search engines like Yahoo and Bing and all of those other creatures that are out there. Well, I was in the direct marketing business for many, many years. And I ran computer systems that picked up information about what people's spending habits were. And I worked with firms like Saks Fifth Avenue and Bloomingdale's and Tiffany's and Brooks Brothers. And believe me, we were not allowed to share that information with any other company than the company that had originally generated the information that we were using. So I think, and in the case of suing Google for being ahead of the competition and for generating millions and millions and billions of dollars for itself, is a ludicrous case. If Google has spent years developing this technology and years to develop the systems and applications that use the information, why should they be penalized for that? Why are we infringing on them? Why is the Justice Department after them? I suspect that the Justice Department has an ulterior motive, although I haven't been able to find out anything about that ulterior motive. But it seems in this day and age, when information is out on the internet, those who are capable of extracting that information and figuring out how to use it to improve the services that they are providing to the public, it's a good thing. Now, many people will object to that because there's a privacy issue, perhaps, because people don't want anybody to know what they do and what they buy and what their propensities are. And I can respect that. But then that's your responsibility. You, as an individual, have to decide that every time that you go on the internet, somebody's watching you. And you have to decide whether or not you want that information out in the real world so that they can send you ridiculous ads all the time or whatever. That's not Google's fault. It's not Yahoo's fault. It's not Bing's fault. They are in the business of providing information and helping their advertisers get sales. And it drives the economy. So with an economy right now that is locked into the internet, since travel around and shopping in places is virtually forgotten, right? And you're going to impinge upon the activities of one of the major players in the game, if not the leading player. And maybe they're upset because Google is owned by a company called Alphabet. And what is Alphabet? Alphabet's a collection of companies. Google is the largest company within the collection. And so Google has the advantage of learning things from a lot of other organizations. But those are business partners. And so I don't understand why that would make a big deal. That would not make a big deal because, remember, there was a company like Federated Department Stores that owned many, many stores around the country. Macy's and Burdines, Bloomingdale's. So I don't see that as a real reason to be upset with Google. So I don't know why all of a sudden they were suing Google. And another thing they had to do in this suit is they had to talk to all the state attorneys general. That means multiple attorney generals. They had to talk to all of them about suing because for some reason the attorney generals have to be on board with this suit because there are different laws in every single state, I guess. It wasn't very clear in the article why the attorney generals had to be involved in the suit, but they were gathering up. They had a meeting with 48 attorney generals, and they decided that they're going to sue. But as of right now, the only one that's moving ahead with this suit is the Justice Department. And I suspect that this will cause some turmoil in the internet world, and that many of the other companies that use their search engines, that create search engines, that are looking for data so that they can improve their business models, etc., will be watching this event very, very closely. And I, for one, am not against the collection of this data. I understand what they're trying to do with it. And if I felt that the information that they were getting was detrimental to me in any way, then I wouldn't do it. And I would expect that the average consumer wouldn't do it either. But when I look at the average consumer in this country, I recognize the fact that they are not necessarily the smartest people in the world. And so maybe they could be taken advantage of in some way, shape, or form. But I think that suing Google is an attempt at harassment. It's an attempt to rein in big tech because big tech is a frightening thing to the people that don't understand how important it is to keep our technology on the cutting edge. So I leave you with all these thoughts about marketing and information. Information is so important in the world, and you should safeguard your own information in the best way possible. So that's what I have to say today, and I will see you in the morning. Bye.